Put up. Put a 50 round on that Glock. Plus the other when you driving the top. I put your button there, I can't stop.
What's good with you guys? I'm back with another YouTube video today. And I know y'all be singing that intro song. Shit. I don't even know what Future be saying, but I know y'all be singing it. But that's not the point of this video. I'm back with another JCS reaction. If you guys haven't watched my Chris Watt series, basically this channel, well, they have two channels, but they do the same thing. Basically, it covers like criminal interrogations, go through the case and stuff like that. It may get dark, like the screen right now. It might get dark. So get you something to eat, something to snack on, and let's jump into this.
On February 15th of 1993, the northern city of Liverpool, England, would bear witness to one of the most shocking and horrific cases in its history.
Police on Merseyside say that 2-year-old James Bulger, who disappeared from a shopping precinct at the weekend, was horribly murdered and then dumped on a railway line. They say that someone must know the identity of the two boys who took James from the precinct.
Inch by inch, the police have searched the railway line where 2-year-old James Bulger's body was found yesterday.
2-year-old? See, I told y'all, man, these can get really dark. If you are sensitive, please don't watch these videos, because it will ruin your day.
The scene is still protected from the elements for forensic work. The body itself was removed late last night. His uncle had identified him. It had been spotted earlier by 4 schoolboys playing. The blurred images of 2 youths seen taking James away are now all over the city. The public say detectives hold the key to finding them. They believe James was killed locally, then his abandoned body was hit by a train.
We know it is a murder inquiry. There's not, as we'd first hoped, we were going to find James and return him to his parents. It is horrific what has taken place, and there must somewhere be somebody who will know the identity of the 2 boys who were seen with James.
James's blue and mustard hood, seen here in a security video, has now been recovered. It had been missing from his clothing but was found nearby. Police have set up a temporary base in the shopping centre. They're warning parents that other children could be vulnerable.
For goodness sake, keep tight hold of your children. Poor James only went missing from his mother for a matter of seconds, and he'd gone and disappeared.
It was a warning heeded as parents picked up their children from school.
I've said to him that if he doesn't hold my hands, then, you know, an naughty man's going to take him and all that. It's on your own.
Yeah, how did this happen? Did this happen during school, after school? Like what?
Step, isn't it? I mean, I come to Strand every day with my kids. Of course, it's frightened everybody.
The shadow of this murder is hanging heavily over Liverpool. As flowers built up around the scene, James's family have spent the day being counselled by specially trained officers. Dozens of bunches of flowers have been laid in response to a crime whose shadow is hanging heavily over the city, the appalling murder of a defenceless toddler. James suffered truly horrific injuries, said the police, before his body was dumped on a railway and hit by a train. The discovery
Oh my God, bro. Ugh, I do not want to watch this, man. Damn, I was just talking about if you sensitive, don't watch this. I'm not even sensitive, but I'm getting mad. Oh my God.
His remains has led to a massive public response. Detectives are tonight studying the evidence so far accumulated. But police still haven't traced these 2 youths, photographed leading James away by a security camera. Inch by inch, officers have searched the line today, trying to establish the exact sequence and timing of events. The inquiries have gone on all day, and they've been going on all evening. The search as urgent as ever for the vital clue that will lead the police to whoever killed a helpless 2-year-old.
Today, the police investigating the murder announced a breakthrough in their inquiries.
Following the abduction of James Bulger from the New Strand shopping precinct in Bootle on Friday the 12th of February 1993, and the subsequent findings of his body on the railway line in Walton on Sunday the 14th of February, 2 boys aged 10 years from Walton area have been arrested and are currently being interviewed by Merseyside police at police stations on Merseyside.
Today's announcement came after hundreds of calls to the incident room overnight, following the first screening on television last night of an enhanced video photograph of the 2 youths seen with James. It can no longer be shown for legal reasons.
Almost 27 years later, This surveillance image remains etched in the minds of the millions familiar with the...
Hey, bro, imagine doing something stupid when you were a little kid, right? Because, like, I'm assuming the little two, like, I'm guessing these two little kids right here, they're the one that did this. I'm not justifying what they done, but just imagine if you did something stupid when you were young, very bad, even for a kid, you did something really bad, but your life is over because you did something when you were 6 or 7. Like, you know, like, that's kind of, I don't want to say it's not fair, because at the end of the day, they did murder a little boy, but at the same time, it's like, bro, they were like 8, 7, you know? But yeah, like I said, I'm not justifying this. This is a crazy crime, but I don't think they should get like life or anything, though, because that's their whole life down the drain. At least like 15 years or something. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I'm just a guy on YouTube reacting to videos, and I'm not a guy making laws.
Case of James Bulger. On the afternoon of February 12th, 1993, 10-year-olds John Venables and Robert Thompson would enter a shopping mall in the northern part of Liverpool with the intention of kidnapping a small child, something they attempted not once, but twice. Inside a department store, a woman noticed that 2 boys were trying to get her 2-year-old son's attention. Moments later, she realized he was missing. The woman began calling his name and ran outside, where she found Venables and Thompson beckoning the boy to follow them. When Venables saw the mother, he told the boy to go back to her, and they both vanished. Mere luck had saved that child, but also sealed the terrible fate of another. Soon after the aborted abduction, Venables and Thompson were loitering around a candy stand when they noticed 2-year-old James Bulger by the door of a nearby butcher's shop.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is some diabolical shit, even for like some little kids. So like I said, I don't know, man. They definitely should get a long time, but like their entire life, I don't know, because they might be crazy when they get older. So they're crazy now, because to be a kid and do some fucked up shit like this, like, how do you even come up with that? Like, me and my friends was fucking, the worst shit we ever did was like throwing rocks at cars, even though that is fucked up. Like, people have died from that, but like that's the type of shit we used to do. Go find old fucking beer bottles and throw them on the ground and bust them. Like, that's what I used to do when I was a kid. This is some different shit right here.
Bulger's mother momentarily distracted, they got the toddler to come with them. Venables then took him by the hand and led him away. James and his abductors were caught by a surveillance camera leaving the mall at 3:42 p.m. By this time, James's mother, Denise, was panicking. She quickly found mall security personnel and described her son and what he was wearing. They announced the boy's name over the loudspeakers, but there was no sign of him, and he was then reported missing to the local police station. After the boys had led James away from the mall, he began crying out for his mother. They ignored him and continued down to a secluded area near a canal, where they dropped him on his head and left him on the ground crying. A woman passing by noticed the child, but did nothing. The boys then called...
Oh my god, yeah, she should be charged. She should be charged. What? If you see a little 2-year-old boy laying down on the ground crying with no parents and nobody else around him, and your first thought is to like, whoops. Like, that's like seeing a pair of sunglasses on the ground. You just walk by. Like, you know? Like, what's wrong with her? You supposed to help that boy. Like, are you okay? Where's your mom? Like, anything. What is wrong with this world, man?
For James to come, and he still followed. His forehead was bruised and cut, causing his abductors to pull his jacket hood over his head to hide the injury. They then walked away from the canal and through a residential street, where one witness later reported noticing a small child crying while being forcefully led by 2 older boys. She didn't report the incident, but gave a statement 5 days later.
I've heard people saying, why didn't someone...
See, that's understandable, because that could just be his 2 older brothers, but that lady that just seen that boy on the ground crying and did nothing is dead fucking wrong.
Do this, and why didn't someone do that? But, you know, now the guilt's there. I don't think I'd ever get this guilt.
Nah, that wasn't your fault. If anything, the other bitch should have guilt.
I heard the baby crying, and I watched them. Oh God, I watched them. I've got to look out this window every day. I see these kids. I go to bed and I see these kids.
A second witness also noticed the trio while driving, but only reported the incident when the story hit the front page of the national news 3 days later.
I went to the police that same day, on the Monday, and reported the incident. And I said to the police at that stage, I hope that it wasn't him, because I couldn't live with the thought that I could have done something about it.
At some time between 5:45 and 6:30 p.m., Thompson and Venables brought the exhausted 2-year-old to a railway. When they arrived, the boys hesitated, perhaps reconsidering what they were about to do, and briefly turned away from the embankment. But then they both turned back toward the privacy of the area, and the brutal torture and murder of James Bulger occurred. Eventually, the two boys placed James's dead body across the train tracks in hope...
Bro, where is his parents? Like, where was that little kid's parents? How did they steal him? Like, I don't know if I, didn't hear that part, so much is going on in this story, bro. Oh my God, this is so upsetting. Like, a 2-year-old, bro. And really, I'm about to say a 2-year-old's life going to waste, but pretty much all of these kids' life going away. They did this before they could even get a jump on life, before they could really understand what they were actually doing. Like, damn, this is crazy.
Of making the whole thing look like an accident. They then abandoned the scene before a train came and severed the toddler in two. With little to go on, Bulger's parents were initially the prime suspects, but when police saw the CCTV footage from the shopping mall, the story went nationwide and the search for Bulger intensified. His body was discovered 2 days after his disappearance. An anonymous phone call to the police then implicated John Venables and Robert Thompson as the killers. The caller told police that Venables and Thompson were both absent from school on the Friday of the abduction. Both boys were then taken in for questioning.
Badass little kids, man. How the fuck are you them kids don't look no older than 10. How are you that young skipping school? And what are your parents bro? I'm never letting my kids walk to school under the age of 15, 14. What? Granted, I did used to walk to school that young, but shit, nothing ever happened to me. Shit. I feel like crazy shit like this only happened in the suburbs. If some shit in the hood where I live, I don't live in the hood. I live in the hood. Nothing crazy like that is really happening in the morning. People still sleep. Us black folks, we don't do crime in the morning. But yeah, man, this is bad, bro. Do they catch the bus to school? I don't know how it work in England. Come on, man, this is crazy.
He said that the two of you were in the Strand and that you saw the little boy.
We never.
Is that the God's honest truth?
God's honest truth, I'm telling you that we never. He was too scared. He was probably too scared.
And he said that you took him by the hand and led him out of the Strand shops.
We never. He's a liar.
Calm down.
Oh my gosh. Alright, it's alright. Come on, look. It's alright. Come on, alright.
I never got the boy. I never killed him. Yeah, we was, but we never saw any kids.
This is so weird to hear a little boy be interrogated. This is crazy, man.
We never got any kids.
So you were in Bootle New Strand?
Was you in Bootle Strand?
Yeah, but we never got a kid, Mum. We never got
Mrs. Venables, would you... I must ask you not to get angry with it. A short while ago, as is detailed on your custody record out there, you had a conversation with your mum and you then requested that myself and Dave Tanner come into the room. Is that right? Yeah. And what was it you told us?
That I killed James. He took him on the railway track and started throwing bricks at him.
Why did he throw bricks at him?
No.
Did it make him fall over?
No.
So he's saying he threw the same house brick at him, full in the face, and he didn't fall over?
Yeah, he did fall over. And he just kept on getting back up again. He wouldn't stay down.
What was he saying while he was doing all this?
He was saying stay down, you stupid dick and all that.
Why did he want him to stay down?
I don't know. He wanted him dead probably.
See, I bro, if you guys are parents here, let your kids play video games, cause a lot of older people, they think this is why this happens. Bro, this is so rare. Like, and this probably was like before video games were even big, like GTA and Call of Duty. But like, people try to make the argument that video games delude people's minds and they make people do crimes. No, that doesn't happen, bro. Never have I ever played Call of Duty and wanted to go get a kill streak in real life. Never, ever, ever. Like, that's just a random topic, but I just wanted to like point that out because people be trying to make that seem like, oh yeah, these little kids, they were influenced by this. No, these little kids are fucked up. That's what these little kids are. This is crazy. Like, I kind of changed my mind about what I said in the beginning. Maybe these little motherfuckers do deserve life. But like I said, though, they are little kids. I don't know, bro. This is such a weird situation. Let's watch to the end and see what it eventually does happen.
Walked up to him and we were walking around with him and I took his hand.
Well, whose idea was it to walk towards him?
Mine.
Was it? What did
Then
you
it
say?
was Robert's idea to kill him. And we went outside to the canal.
What for?
Don't know, we said let's throw him in the water. He was persuading him, he said kneel down and let's look at the water and all that, but he wouldn't. Because when we wouldn't get him down, Robert kicked him up and threw him on the floor and that's where he got his bump on his head.
Where'd you go with him after that?
The reservoir where that woman spotted us.
Is young James walking with you by this time, or are you still having to pull him?
And he was walking with us.
Was he upset, or had he made friends with you?
He was all nice.
I know the truth. I believe I know the truth.
I was there.
That's right.
Oh, don't get smart, you little bitch. Okay? You little fucking twit. You fucking cunt. Don't you dare get smart with this fucking detective, you little fucking murderer. I just had to pull out my fucking British insults. Get the fuck, don't. Ooh, I'm not, fuck you. This little bitch deserve life. Okay? Ooh, wish I can just come through the screen and go back in time and just slap his little short ass. Send his ass to Jupiter.
Correct, but I know that a lot of things that have gone on.
Yeah, well, you know, it was me that killed him. It wasn't. I never even killed him.
Bobby.
What?
Come on now.
I'll be over in a few minutes if you just tell him the truth.
James threw a brick in his face. I don't know.
Right. Try and stop. Right. We're getting there, aren't we? We're getting to the truth now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to end up getting out the plane because I've got blood on me. He grabbed the baby's hand and just walked around the strand. And then he let him go loose then.
Did he?
When we were by the church, he let him go.
And you were with John then? You shook your head. You shook your head.
Yeah, I told him to take him back.
You did as what?
Told him to take him back.
You told him to take
I
it back?
don't know.
All right, Bobby. No, you're not getting all the blame. We're just asking your son. We're trying to find
we
the truth.
usually always get the blame.
Wait a minute, Bobby. Listen.
Hey, just because he's talking about I get all the blame. If you did 50% of the crime, you still getting 100% of the time. You ain't getting, y'all, they don't split y'all time differently. Y'all both did the same crime. Y'all both get the same time.
Just calm yourself down for a minute, okay? You alright?
He said he wants us more.
So what? What did you say to him?
What did you say?
You.
We're going to try and find us, Mum.
Where did you leave him then?
On a reservoir place.
I don't believe you would have left him there. You took him away from where the reservoir is and walked down somewhere else.
Where?
Going towards the police station.
I never killed him.
The trials of John Venables and Robert Thompson commenced 9 months later, and they were both convicted of murder,
That Robert,
making them
the one on the right, that's the one that was just talking. He looked like he'd say some shit like, "Oh yeah, I was there, you weren't, little motherfucker." Yeah, this shit looks old as hell though. They probably older than me, but damn, like, this is fucked up, man.
Youngest to be found guilty of the offense in over 250 years.
2 days later, on Monday.
Whoa, did he just say they got 250 years?
The trials of John Venables and Robert Thompson commenced 9 months later, and they were both convicted of murder, making them the youngest to be found guilty of the offense in over 250 years.
2 days later, on Monday the 22nd of February, the boys were taken to South Sefton Magistrates Court in Bootle for a hearing. Media interest in the case was enormous. Television crews and photographers from all over the world came to Bootle to get a shot at the boys. Public anger too had been building for some time in Liverpool, both against the boys and the intrusiveness of the media. A menacing crowd gathered outside the court, waiting for the boys to come out.
I don't understand shit like this. When somebody commits like a horrific crime, why are you standing down there? I never understood that. Especially these are two children. Granted, they did commit a murder, but still, like, okay, like, what you're gonna throw stuff at them? Like, come on, they're children at the end of the day. Once again, I'm not taking up for these boys. They could burn in hell, but come on, man. Well, why are y'all standing out? What y'all gonna beat their ass? They escorted by security.
As the boys left in the transit van, bricks were being thrown, people were running up to the side of the transit van, hammering on the side with their fists. The boys, I know, didn't like that one bit.
Okay, lads, come on. There's been a backlash against horror videos as Britain searches for answers in the wake of the...
Yeah, people are pissed, though. I'll take back what I just said. I see why people are down there. People are pissed off. This is a crazy, horrific crime. I can see why people are pissed off.
James Bulger murder and the life sentences on his schoolboy killers. The case has already split the church and the government in a damaging row over who's to blame. But there's alarm now with a death threat from an uncle of little James.
New Flowers today marked painful memories of the Bulger trial as politicians and churchmen blamed one another in their search for reasons for the murder. Feelings everywhere were running high today, nowhere more than in a phone-in on BBC Television's Good Morning with Anne and Nick programme, when James Bulger's uncle, who was the one called to identify the child's body, threatened to kill the two boys.
Looks to me like everyone's making excuses for them, and there is no excuses. They took the child, they battered them to death, and if they don't stay in jail forever, if they ever get old, we'll be waiting, and when we get old, we'll kill them.
Why did they do it? You know, what was in their minds to do it? Obviously, we couldn't answer that question at that time.
In the Commons, some MPs, struggling to find any kind of action to express their revulsion, turned on horror videos that might have influenced the boys. The children had watched cartoons in this video shop straight after...
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I used video games, but I knew they was going to try to blame something. Oh, they read these books, they watched these movies, that's why they did it. No, fuck that. Even as a kid, I knew right from wrong, you know? And I guess it's just about just how you raise, because it's just some stuff. Like, I be seeing my friends, they cuss around their parents. I don't cuss around my parents. Like, I probably could, but, I mean, like, she wouldn't whoop me or anything. Like, my mom or dad wouldn't whoop me or anything. But, like, at the same time, it's like, you know, like, it's just a respect thing, and it's just how you brought up. Like, if your parents raise you right, you will know right from wrong. Even as a young kid. Like, as a young kid, I knew not to do this and not to do that. I guess other people just different, man. I don't know.
Killing. A month before, John Venables' father had rented Child's Play 3, a mainstream 18-rated black comedy showing a demonic doll being battered to death. The Bulger trial judge surprised the police investigating the case when he suggested violent videos may have played a part in the case. The police said they had no evidence to suggest it. However, responding to criticism, Sky Television said it's dropping tomorrow night's planned screening of Child's Play 3, while another video chain said they were burning 10,000 copies.
The youngest murderers this century were driven at speed to an indefinite future in custody, detained at Her Majesty's pleasure.
The sentence that has been passed is the only sentence that the court could pass. They recognise that, but no sentence the court could pass would ever bring James back, and nor, in their view, could it ever properly punish those two boys for what they did.
They were both given an indefinite sentence, which has no maximum, but has a minimum determined on a case-by-case basis. In this case, it was just 8 years, and despite public outrage, they would end up serving this minimum sentence, and were each released in 2001, when they were both 18 years old.
Lord Wolfe has decided that...
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Say you swear to fucking God. Hold on, let me let this shit play. Ain't no way they was released when they was 18 and it just stayed free. Get the fuck out of here.
Tariff should expire today. He says the boys, both 18, are genuinely remorseful and further detention wouldn't be constructive.
It was a terrible offence, but they were only children. They were only just criminally responsible when it occurred. And it has to take into account the undoubted progress which they've made.
See, I was saying, bro, oh, that's crazy, bro. So they're out of jail. Walking freely, bro. They at least need to get out when they like 40 or something. Come on, bro. 18. Ooh.
Bulger's mother, Denise Fergus, said she was shocked and disgusted by the decision. It means her son's killers could be out in a matter of months.
I'll never forgive them for what they've done. Never. I'll take the hate for them to my grave.
They were given new identities and granted legal anonymity for life due to the public fury that surrounded the case, and the danger of citizens hunting them down in order to take vengeance. In 2010, John Venables was taken back to prison for downloading child pornography of male toddlers.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're not right in the head. That's why they should have got life. But this is hindsight, though.
He served 3 years in prison and was released in 2013.
3 years in prison for child? Dude, these laws are fucking terrible, man.
Only to be brought back again 4 years later, after a pedophile manual that provided instructions on having sex with kids was discovered on his computer. He was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison.
Dude, why do pedophiles get off the hook like that? A black man can get caught with some weed and a gun and go to jail for 5 years, 8 years. But a pedophile that has been proven to be a pedophile and do weird stuff with kids gets 3 years at a time, 2.5 years, 1.5 years. That's some bull.
I'm more fearing now that someone is going to mistaken someone else's Venables and do someone who's innocent harm. That's my biggest fear now.
Do you trust that the authorities can monitor him properly?
No, definitely not. They couldn't monitor him the first time. What makes them so sure they're going to monitor him now? They haven't got a clue. I think they're not doing the jobs properly. They've got jobs there to do and they're not doing them. You know, they let him slip through with the fingers the first time round, so no doubt it's going to happen again. He got away with so much. He's going to think he's untouchable again and he's going to go and do even worse.
I mean, I guess the other one, the John Robertson, I think his name was, I guess he learned his lesson, but the Venables one, that dude's a weirdo, bro. How the fuck do you grow up to be a pedophile? Like, what? I mean, I guess when he was arrested, he was liking little girls. So I guess when he grew up, he never, like, seen women. So I guess he just kept liking little girls. I don't know. Once again, I'm not making no excuses for that weirdo. Oh, my God. This shit's making me upset. Let me hurry up and stop talking so we can end this video. Okay, man. That's the end of the video. Had to get a quick thumbnail real quick. This is wild, man. I don't know what to think. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess the kid on the right just grew. I obviously can't have a normal life. I don't know. But the kid on the right, he hasn't been in trouble. But this fucker on the left, both of these kids, 18, like when I was saying in the beginning of the video, like, yeah, maybe they shouldn't get life because they were so young. Okay, but only do 8 years, bro. They only did 8 years. I don't agree with that. For what they did, even as children, that's fucked up. Should have been a minimum 20 years. Minimum. Or you could say minimum 15. But 8 years, bro? That's not enough at all, bro. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Once again, I love you guys so much. We super close to 5K. We 300 subscribers away from 4K. And I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.